Hey, hello. This is Maria, and I'm going to be going over the Newton's second law of motion project, part E. So here's some additional facts that I found. It was it was a bit difficult trying to find some facts that I feel that the audience might enjoy, but here's one or two that I thought might be interesting to you. So whenever you think of Newton's second law, I think of just here on Earth, but it's actually applicable to celestial bodies too, which I thought that was pretty cool. What the other work the scientists did, he often studied these celestial bodies, which made him realize that Newton's second law isn't just applicable to Earth, it's also applicable to the space and celestial bodies. Something I thought people should know about is that a lot of these foundations of what scientists have done is inherited from ancient Greeks, which I thought was pretty cool. Additional interest facts that I found interesting. So Galileo's work on laws of motion and concept of inertia influenced and paved way for Isaac Newton's formulation of the first and second laws of motion. So a lot of people think that Newton's second law, he kind of just thought of it himself, but I thought it was really nice that people use other people's work to help experiment and learn more, which I thought was really nice. What I learned and what I would like to investigate more if given more time, I would what I expected to learn was I was a little more curious about how Newton's second law came to be, with especially with the apple falling on his head. I wasn't really expecting it to actually have landed on his head or landed near him, but from what I've been reading, it's not really true, just due to the fact there's no actual evidence behind it. But I thought maybe that was true. So I kind of expected to learn about how that came to be. But I got to learn how force and mass and acceleration work together, which was pretty interesting thing to learn about. And if I had more chance to investigate something, it would be how the Newton's second law works on celestial bodies. I really would like to learn more about that, especially now that once finals are over, I probably will look into it more. Overall summary, overview, I actually had fun doing the research for this project. I didn't realize how often the Newton's laws are in motion constantly, like just pushing a basket, or like in the picture shows kicking a soccer ball or race cars or crashes. The most important part, what I wanted to make sure I got through, was that understanding the concept and making it understandable to others, because nobody would want to watch something and not really know what they're reading. Hardest part, I would say the hardest part was figuring out how were the working conditions, or like, and I think part C or D, we were talking about how at first, what was their like experiment conditions and what did they use, what did they do. I thought that was pretty hard learning, trying to figure out how they did it exactly, just because it's so far back in the past. Sorry, excuse me. What I found surprising about the process of working on this project, the fact that Newton's second law is used to make our cars safer and used in planes and even rocket science, is cool to learn about. I didn't realize how often, which how the overview I did say, is how often these laws of motion are in our life. That I never realized that we rely so heavily on physics to make things safer or be able to explore places further. here are some sources I use, and on the right is a picture of a source I did use, and here's a few. And then let's see, the one I do have on my right is the 14 fascinating and interesting facts about Isaac Newton for kids. I used the source to learn more about Isaac Newton, which it's, even though it just says 14 facts, fascinating and interesting facts about him, and actually gives you a really good history of his life, and I really like that. So I did use this source. I used it, I want to say, for part B and some of part C, but I really did enjoy using the sites particularly. Well, thank you and have a nice day.